we're big investors across a variety of places that are relevant to MediaMath, so technology businesses, media businesses, and telecommunication businesses. And what we see is a really interesting confluence of events where each of those three very large sectors are converging in very many ways. And so we see tectonic shifts happening in these industries where we're seeing increasingly brands and agencies, for that matter, are thinking through how to make their purchase of media more effective, not just across typical areas of advertising and digital like display and mobile and video, but also increasingly in other forms of advertising that are becoming more programmatic in nature, more automated in the way they're traded, namely television, digital out of home, audio, social, gaming, VR, AR, et cetera. And lots of these forms of media will increasingly become more traded in automatic fashion, and there needs to be an underlying level of software and technology to enable the more efficient purchase of that type of media. And we thought that MediaMath was one of the leading players, one of the really few leading global DSPs of scale that's positioned very well to offer an independent solution to both agencies and to advertisers. And that's quite unique in this environment where there's big, quote, walled gardens who have a full tech stack, who have a vested interest in some cases of selling and buying their own media on behalf of clients, whereas MediaMath is very, doesn't own its own media properties and is very objective in terms of the results it tries to deliver to its clients.
So how do you see the future of TV? There's a lot of conversations here today, and of course there's a lot of conversations leading to the upfront in terms of technology driving more targeted audiences.
Mm-hmm.
We hear about demands by the marketers for more performance and bang for their buck. What's interesting to you in terms of technology and television?
Sure. Well, we think one of the other key reasons why we thought MediaMath was a very interesting investment, and because we're really on the cusp and the inflection point in terms of this massive level of spend happening within television that will become largely automated in how it's traded, as I mentioned before. So take a step back, the linear TV industry today, meaning TV ads in a classic way, is approximately an $80 billion industry in the US alone. Today, the buying and selling of TV spots are largely, done through agencies and powered through, or the effectiveness of it is measured through Nielsen ratings, which is a limited sample of the viewers of television. So imagine a world in which increasing levels of inventory go from linear to nonlinear, i.e. in the online space, and the number of advertising units becomes almost infinite. There needs to be a much more efficient and technology-assisted way to do that. And I think both advertisers, on the one hand, and publishers, i.e. the people who own the media operators, the ones who own the media, recognize that there's too much volume to be traded in an analog fashion. It has to be done in a much more automated fashion. And it's only a matter of time that more of that share will shift. The second is measurability and accountability. Of course, advertisers and their agencies on their behalf want to make sure the ad dollars that they're deploying into various forms of media are performant and performing as they expect them to be, and can compare and contrast around different strategies and measure campaigns and the effectiveness of their advertising dollar. And historically, I think TV has been a bastion for spend because it's the largest, broadcast medium and commands 50% of overall viewers or consumers, if you will. Whereas in this environment, I think with the ability of what digital players can do, particularly what companies like MediaMath can do, I think they can deliver great measurement and great accountability to their customers, namely the advertisers and the agencies, that have not necessarily been done before. So those two factors, I think, will lead to massive levels of dollars shifting over the next 5 to 10 years between what had been an $80 billion linear TV business to an probably $100 billion combination of nonlinear and linear TV business, where more of the nonlinear inventory is traded programmatically.